If you guys have a 3rd gen Tundra, you know that the interior lights are pretty sad. Really? This is it? In this video, we're going to be upgrading the interior lights, both the dome and the map lights, with some lights from MESO Customs. So these lights here from MESO Customs are going to be both a white and a red. You can switch the colors. The dome light's going to be very easy to get installed. It's just going to be a swap, plug and play. The map lights is going to be a little bit more work. We're going to have to pull down the upper center console. We're going to have to drill some holes to get the wires through, but I'll show you how to get everything done. Okay, so when it comes to installing the dome light, this is going to be very easy. This is going to be a 1 out of 3. Anyone can get this done. And the only thing you're going to need to do it is a trim prying tool. Now when it comes to the map lights, I'm going to say this is a level 2. A little bit more of work involved, and we are going to have to drill some holes. So we're going to be using that trim prying tool. I also have a small flathead screwdriver. We have a T20 Torx bit with a driver, and then we have a drill with a 5/16 drill bit. I know drilling holes into your interior panel does not sound very good, but I assure you, you won't even see them, and it's not that hard. We'll show you guys how to get it done. So when it comes to removing the dome light here in the Tundra, there's gonna be 4 clips that is holding this into your headliner. You're gonna have one here, here, and then on the other side as well. We're gonna take that trim prying tool, put it in between the headliner and the light itself, and pop those clips down. The clips are metal. As you pull it down a little bit, you'll be able to see those metal clips and where you need to press in. There we go. And then we just have one plug. Go ahead and unplug that. Here are those metal clips that hold it into the headliner. You just have to push on this and pull it down on all 4 corners, and then your plug. Go ahead and pull out our new light. This has everything you need. It's got the plug, it's got the metal clips, so it's just a easy swap out. Go ahead and plug that in. One button turns it on. You can see we have red and we also have white. Pretty slick. We'll go ahead and tuck our wire back up into the ceiling. Make sure it doesn't get pinched anywhere, and pop those 4 clips back in place. So we got the dome light done, and like I said, it's only going to take a couple of minutes to get this done. Very easy. Let's go ahead and jump into the front seat. We'll work on getting those map lights out. It's going to be a little bit more involved. All right, so jumping into the front seat, this whole panel right here, we're going to have to pull down. So we're going to put our fingers into the front here. Pull it down. It's going to take a little bit of force. And then you have 2 hooks back here that are hooking into the headliner. So just pull it forward. You can see those 2 hooks right there, and then we'll go ahead and unplug it. So now that we have this whole unit removed, we'll take it over to the workbench and we'll start taking it apart. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is remove this bezel that goes around the whole outside. So if you turn this thing over, you can see we have a number of clips around the edge that are holding it in place. We're gonna go ahead and probably use the small flathead screwdriver and get those removed. So what I'm doing is taking the trim prying tool, putting it in between the trim and the back part, and that's going to provide tension while I pry back on this plastic like so. So once you get those main 6 clips depressed, you can see we have a bunch of other things here that are locking it in place. But once you get those 6 out, you can just pull up on it and the rest of these will come out. Just take your time and don't pull too hard in one direction and end up cracking this. Okay, so now that we have that piece removed, we're gonna go ahead and remove this piece here, which we're just gonna take our prying tool, and that easily just lifts right up. You have a couple of clips down here. You can see 2 clips there are holding that in as well. So now that that is out of our way, we're going to take off the lens covers for the OEM lights. You can just use your fingers actually and pull those off very easily. Now we're going to take that T20 Torx bit. We have 2 screws to remove. All right, we got those 2 screws removed. Now we're gonna take the trim prying tool again, and this surrounding piece below that, we're gonna take that out. Now in this process, you are gonna probably lose your buttons. It's okay, they'll easily go back in. There we go. All right, so we have everything apart that needs to come apart. The next step is to drill our holes for the wiring of the new MESO Customs lights. So I'll show you where we're gonna be drilling. So we're gonna be drilling a total of 4 holes. We're gonna be drilling a hole right here in the middle, as well as one over here. And then on this piece, we are going to be drilling a hole here and one over here. I wanna note where you are drilling, there is nothing behind there. It's just plastic on both pieces. Once you have all this off, you can see the factory LEDs. There are 2 small LEDs with some projectors, I guess you want to call them. Now the new MESO Customs light is going to have 12 LEDs, which are much brighter. So it's going to make a huge difference here once we get this all back together. So we have our drill, we have our 5/16 drill bit. We're going to go ahead and drill those holes. You don't have to be like super precise in the location. So just go ahead and drill those out. So now that we have the 4 holes drilled out, we can go ahead and start reassembling all of this stuff. So now we'll go ahead and open up our new lights from MESO, pull these out. So you'll find we have 2 lights and the harness in there. All right, so these are only going to fit on one way. We're going to take the plug, we're going to feed it down both of those holes that we drilled out, pull that through, line up the light here and pop it in place. Same thing on this side, wire through, line it up, pop that one in place. Once we have both lights in place, we'll take our other bezel here and we'll get that snapped back in. And then lastly, we'll take this final trim piece and get this snapped back in. There we go. So now we're ready to install the harness that comes with the lights from MESO. We're gonna take this piece, we're gonna plug this into the factory plug here. And then we have 2 leads coming off of that. Obviously, one is going to each of our new lights. And then we also have an extension piece. That's gonna be to get the one here further away. All right, so we got the lights installed, we got the wiring installed. Now we can go ahead and put this back into the Tundra. All right, so we'll take our new wiring and plug that into the factory wiring here. Lights are on, as you can see. We'll go ahead and shut those off. Take our wiring, tuck it up inside the headliner, put those 2 hooks up into the headliner first. Once you have that pushed back, we'll push the front of it up in place, pop it in, and we are all done. So now with the lights on, you can see we'll hit this button here. That's gonna change it from red to white. And then you can click on the actual light itself, just like your factory one, and that's gonna turn them on and off. That's more like it. Now I can actually see the interior of my truck. Let's see how the red looks. There's the red, gives it a really cool vibe in here. And this is also really good for just making it a little bit easier on your eyes at night instead of the bright white. But I should note it is still brighter than your OEM lights. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for the install of the map light and dome light from MESO Customs on the 3rd Gen Tundra. What a drastic difference over those OEM lights. Not only are they brighter, but you do have the ability to switch from white to red now, which is a really nice feature. If you guys have any questions about the install, you can ask down below in the comments. And if you want to pick either one of these lights up for your Tundra, you can head over to YotaXpedition.com, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.